Alright, so in today's video, I want to share 10 paintbrush tool hacks that you probably didn't know in Affinity Photo, and more specifically in Affinity Photo version 2. Now, the first one is going to be fairly easy, but I think it is a very important one to know. So let's start off by selecting the brush tool by pressing B on the keyboard, and let's select a brush that isn't round. So let me just go to, I don't know, a cloud brush, and let's grab this one for now. Well, first thing, very basic but very important to know, you can increase and decrease your brush size by using the left and right bracket key. So the right bracket key increases your brush size and the left bracket key decreases your brush size. But you can also rotate your brush by using the arrow keys. So the right arrow key actually turns it clockwise and the left arrow key turns your brush counterclockwise, let's say. Very useful to know. This also works with stamp brushes. So if I grab my clone brush tool and let's sample some, let's create a new layer. Let's select current layer and below, and let's sample, let's say, this tower right over here. Let's increase our brush size so you can actually see what we've sampled. Also with this one, you can now rotate your brush by using the left and right arrow key. So if I brush now, you can see that I have rotated the tip of the tower. And on the top here, you can actually see the rotation of your brush. So if you want to set it back to 0, just slide this one to the left and you should be back at 0. Now, another great thing what we can do with the brush tool, so let me actually go back to my basic brushes, is that you can use the basic brush tool to make selections. How does it work to make a selection using the brush tool? You want to enter quick mask mode. So how I did this is by pressing Q on the keyboard, your screen will turn to red. Then you press B on the keyboard. So let's zoom in a little bit, and you can use any kind of brush to make a selection. So yeah, you can use your normal soft round brush, hard round brush, yeah, basically any brush that you want. Sometimes it is very nice to have this oval kind of brush to get into the difficult corners, let's say. So if I want to make select this little piece right over here, I would select white as a foreground color, because white selects and black, let's say, deselects. So I would just grab this brush and yeah, start brushing over this part, and you can see it is fairly easy to get a very nice selection of certain parts of this structure, let's say. Now, this feature is especially useful when you want to position anything in, let's say, on a grass surface or maybe in the bushes or something. So let me show you what I mean. Now, I will go to my assets and quickly grab any one of my animal assets. And by the way, these assets, they are available, so I'll put the link down below in the description. But let's say I want to make it look realistic, like this seal is actually sitting in the grass. So now it's just completely fake. Let's make this look more realistic. So what I would do is I would create a mask, so clip to my seal, and I would grab any kind of grass brush. So in IAMRENSI nature brushes, you will find grass brushes. Press B on the keyboard and decrease the brush size and just click a couple of times. And that is the crazy thing about brushes. Brushes can basically have any form or shape. So if you want to have a grass brush and mask something out that it looks like he's sitting in the grass, well, it is as easy as this. So now it actually looks a lot more realistic. Obviously, there are some things we have to add, like shadows and this kind of stuff. So this was the before and this is the after. Very, very useful feature when doing photo manipulation or compositing. Another thing that the brush tool actually can do is use it as a quick color picker. So I have my brush tool selected, as you can see, and by holding Alt or Option and clicking, you can see that my cursor turns into this kind of zoom thingy, and the color that is in the little square is the color that is gonna be selected. So now I've got this. Let me create a new layer and let's select the brush tool. Now I've got this kind of dark red color. If I want to select some color of the sky, I hold Alt and I just hover over it and I select this color. Maybe I want a more wider color and I select this color, or maybe here it's easier to see, maybe of this structure. So you get the point. By holding Alt and clicking and wiggling your brush a little bit, you will get this color picker tool, which allows you to quickly select colors instead of going to your color panel and clicking and dragging this little thing over and then clicking it again. just hold Alt, click somewhere, and you've got your color selected. The next one is a feature that just came out in Affinity Photo 2, and that is that we can actually sort our brushes and to show our brushes not as a list, but by nozzle. And nozzle is basically just the stamp of a brush. Now, for the basic brushes, this isn't so useful. It is quite easy to see like what kind of brush type it is, but with more complex brushes like firework brushes, for instance, you can really see, if I zoom out a little bit and create a new layer, you can really see like what it's gonna look like. Let's grab some white color. You can actually see what the brush is gonna look like. So you will see it is pretty small, but you can see that this is a firework heart. If I click once, you've got a nice firework heart. And this basically works for any brush. So let's try some night brush, maybe some northern light. And yeah, just increase the brush size, click once, and you've got your northern light. Now, it would be nice if Affinity had the option to increase or decrease the size of this thumbnail. Unfortunately, they don't have it, so we got to do it with this. Otherwise, it's going to be a list, and then you see the brush stamp even smaller. So on the left side right over here, you see the brush stamps. They're fairly small. So if you want to show it a little bigger, then uncheck show as list, and you will find the brush stamps just right over here. Now, another great thing about using brushes is that you can quickly change the color of these brushes. So let's actually delete these layers. Let's darken this image a little bit because then it makes it more clear what's going to happen. So I'm going to reduce the exposure right over here, and let's actually create some firework. So I'm going to go to my firework brush pack and just create a new layer and increase the brush size a bit, and then click once to create some firework. Now, obviously, this is a brush stamp, so now I've set the foreground color to white, but you can set the foreground color to anything you like, obviously. Let's create a new layer for this and create some green fireworks. Now, what I found works better in these cases is to actually add an outer glow to your brushes. So I would select my right layer. So in this case, my white firework. I would go to my layer effects panel and go to outer glow. Where is it? Right over here. And change the color to maybe blue or pink maybe to make it more visible. Increase the radius, and there we go. Now I can change it to green if I wanted to show you the difference in how it looks. So this is the vibrant green, and this is actually the green glow. Now I've got the radius set to 100%, but of course you can play with the radius and you can play with the intensity, also with the opacity if you want a more subtle effect. So this is a great way to color your brush stamps. Now, something that you also might not know yet, but it is very useful to know, is you can actually create your own brush categories by going up here and saying create new category. Maybe you want to have a category of your most favorite brushes. So I would create a most favorite brushes category, let's say. There we go. So now it will, the list is sorted by alphabet. So the favorite brushes will be wherever the F is supposed to be. And let's say I've got a favorite cloud brush, maybe this one right over here. I could either move this brush to another category, so to my favorite category, but what I could also do is first duplicate the brush and then move the duplicated brush to the brush category. So your original brush pack will remain intact, let's say, but your favorite brush pack will have a duplicate of your favorite brushes. Super useful to have, because then you don't have to search your whole brush library every time and time again in order to find your favorite brushes. And the thing is, you can actually change the order of these brushes. So simply by clicking and dragging these brushes onto your screen. So I want this one to be the first brush, let's say. There we go. Now we change the order, and now it's the first waterfall, and then we've got the cloud brush. This also works with the list view. So let me show you. If we have the list view right over here, I want this to be the first brush. I click, hold, and release, and now my cloud brush is on top again. So this is a very useful thing to improve or speed up your workflow. Now, also something new in Affinity Photo 2 is that you can actually link your brushes to be compatible in all other Affinity softwares. So let's say I've got my favorite brushes right over here. How would I use them in Affinity Designer or in Publisher? I would go up here with this brush category active. I would go to this hamburger menu or the three stripes, and you would click link category. Now, before I do that, I will show you what it looks like. This one is not linked, as you can see, but all these other ones like are linked, and you can see it by this little icon. So let's link this category for now, and let's open Affinity Designer 2. There we go. Now, if you're in the normal Factor persona or designer persona in this case, you won't find the brushes, and that is because the brushes in the Factor persona or in the designer persona, they are Factor brushes. So if you want to use your pixel brushes, let's say, you would go to the pixel persona, which is right over here, and there you can find all the brushes that you have in Affinity Photo, including your new favorite brushes or any IAMRENSI brush pack or brush bundle that you've purchased. You will find them now in Affinity Designer as well. And the great thing is, if you have a universal license, which means you have all the Affinity suite on Mac OS, on Windows, and on iPad, you can also download the brushes that you have downloaded on your Mac or Windows device. You can also import them to your iPad. Then another new thing that I'm pretty excited about in Affinity Photo 2 is that we actually have got a brush history right now. So let me show you what this does. Let's actually create a new layer, and let's hide the other ones for now. And we're gonna use this cloud brush in this case. So let's create some white fog kind of thing, maybe in the foreground. So we're going to use a very big brush, and we're just going to create some fog here in the foreground. Obviously this doesn't look so good, so what I would do then is reduce the opacity a whole lot and just create some nice foggy over the city, let's say. And let's just grab another brush. I'm not really sure. Let's go to the new UPM brushes, and let's grab this sparkle twirl brush. Let's increase the brush size, and let's just click to add our sparkler brush to our composition. Now, what is great is that Affinity Photo actually remembers the brushes that you've used on specific layers. So if you go to your brush panel, you now see this little brush icon, and if you click on it, you can actually see the brushes that I have used on this specific layer. And even if you change the opacity, so this one had a 100% opacity. So if I select this one and select my brush tool, you will find the brush has 100% opacity. If I go back to my brush panel and select this one, you will find that it has the reduced opacity brush, let's say. Yeah, out of screen, I accidentally selected this waterfall brush, but you will also find this sparkler twirl brush, and it actually remembered the size that you've used as last. So super powerful, especially when you're painting or photo bashing or whatever. Affinity Photo now remembers your brushes. So another great thing, and this also goes together with maybe the quick mask mode, is that you can draw straight lines with your brushes. So let's create a new layer, and how to do this, let's increase the brush size a little bit. What you would do is just click once and then hold shift and click once again to have a straight line. Now, if you release shift and you draw right now, you will draw on wherever you paint. But if I hold shift now and click somewhere around here, it will remember where you left your brush for the last time, and it will draw a straight line from there. But if I keep holding shift and just keep clicking, you can see that Affinity Photo just draws very easy straight lines, which makes masking quite easy, let's say. So let me actually show you what I mean. We've got a nice straight structure right over here, and let's say I want to make a quick selection of this structure. Now obviously the background is very contrasting from the subject itself, so the quick mask tool or the quick selection tool would do a great job right over here. But let's assume that we had a very busy background. What I could do is enter quick mask mode. So I'm going to select my background layer, I'm going to enter quick mask mode, and I'm going to click on my structure right over here. I'm going to go down to wherever my structure ends, and I'm going to hold shift and click once again. And you can see it is almost straight, the structure, but the line is super straight. And you can see that it would be a lot easier to actually select this structure using brushes. And then I've got one more amazing thing for you that I actually showed you already a little bit, and that is what you can do with custom brushes. So yeah, let's use this image as a background once again. If I want to add a cloud to this composition, let's say, I would create a new pixel layer. I would go to my brush panel, select one of my cloud brushes, maybe this one, increase the brush size, click once, and there we have a cloud. Now, there are tons of IAMRENSI brush packs. So I've got a cloud brush pack, firework, lens flares, light beams, lightning, nature, night, particles, even new brushes, which I called the Ultimate Photo Manipulation version 2 brushes. And all of these brushes, they are packed now for Black Friday in one bundle, which is called the Ultimate Photo Manipulation Brush Bundle. These brushes, they are hyper realistic, very high quality, and super easy to use. So if you want to add some lightning to this very little cloud right over here, I would create a new pixel layer and just add my lighting. If I want to color the lighting, you just go to your layer effects panel, add an outer glow. Maybe you want it to be pinkish or whatever. Increase the radius a little bit, and there you've got your pink lighting, let's say. Now there's more new brushes. So we've got waterfalls going on, Chinese lanterns. There's some kind of portals, energy balls, smoke. I've added so much to this bundle. And actually this Black Friday, you will get 73% off of all the brush packs that you see right over here. Now the best thing, all of these brush packs, they have at least 2 to 4 tutorials with them to make sure you will get the most out of this brush pack. These are very creative tutorials that you won't find anywhere else. So if you want to have a lot of fun with your brushes, and if you want to get the most out of your brush tool, then I highly recommend this brush pack, because the possibilities with so many brushes are literally endless. Alright, I hope you've learned something new today. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun with your brushes. I see you in the next video. Ciao.